Jared is learning how to shape sounds into words. On this episode of Discover the World of Science, we'll literally see how it's done. We'll also invent the craziest way to become king of the mountain. We'll take a trip in a robot van that's supposed to know where it's going. And we'll search for signs of dinosaurs. How did they end? And how did they begin? I'm Peter Graves. Join me now on Discover the World of Science.
Discover the World of Science is made possible by a grant from a major producer of lighting products, of precision materials, and a world leader in products and services for telecommunications. The company is GTE.
Zebra.
What's that?
What's that? Label?
Hippo.
Ear?
Here.
Little Jared is right at the stage where most youngsters are first learning to speak. And he's doing it using several of his senses at once.
Does a cat have a nose?
His eyes may give him some clues about how his mother forms her words, but for the most part, it's trial and error based on what he hears.
Meow.
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 His ears help him find ways to use his mouth and his tongue to mimic his mother's words as best he can.
Can you say doggy?
Doggy.
Doggy.
But this minor miracle we call speech is not as easy for everyone. What if Jared were deprived of the sounds he hears? What if his eyes alone were his only doorway to speech? When Russell Schwartz was born 9 years ago here in Fresno, his parents were delighted with their healthy baby. But during his first year, they discovered his hearing was seriously impaired. Critical fibers in his ears had never properly formed. His hearing loss is 75% in one ear and 90% in the other. Although he has some hearing, he is considered severely to profoundly deaf. And from the start, his parents wanted him to have as much speech as possible for his limited hearing. Sounds like this are very hard to learn by watching someone's face, even for a superb lip reader like Russell.
Better.
They create a visual guessing game.
Air.
The trouble is, many sounds look alike or are simply invisible. Only 30 to 40% of English sounds, like P, are clearly shown on the face.
Don't say P. Air. Better.
If Russell could only see what's going on inside his mother's mouth, he would have an easier time.
Air. He works a lot and really has the desire to want to learn. And it's his drive for the number of hours that he puts in to working at it that gets him where he is.
Today, Russell attends a private school for children with unimpaired hearing. His parents wanted him to be with children like this boy whose speech is normal, giving Russell the best examples for what he would see and the little he could hear.
A-R. I have $1. Dollar.
Very good. Good. Hey, Russell. Voice. Voice.
B-O-I-C-E. First.
That's good. Good. Russell, voice. You have one. Use it in a sentence.
Shyness about his speech sometimes holds him back.
No? Look at me. I have a voice.
I have a voice.
I can't hear.
I have a voice.
See? Very good.
But Russell's doing well academically, and he easily keeps up with his friends who are used to his speech, even though it may be only 50% intelligible. But the world consists of more than just friends and family, and his parents deliberately put him in real-life situations where he needs to independently make himself understood to strangers.
Hi, are you ready to order here?
Yeah, I think so.
What can I get for you today?
A soup.
Could you say that again for me, please?
Soup.
Okay. Is there anything else I can get you with that?
Sally.
Pardon?
Sally.
Can you say it again for me, hon?
Salad. What type of dressing would you like with your salad?
Blue cheese.
Pardon?
Blue cheese.
Blue cheese? Is there anything else for you?
Ta-ta.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Possibly here at the University of Alabama Medical School in Birmingham, clearer speech can be achieved by Russell. He's come to try out a new way to learn how to form sounds more precisely. He'll be working with the head of biocommunication.
Russell, I'm going to put the pseudopalate in your mouth.
Dr. Samuel Fletcher has developed a system which eliminates the guesswork for deaf people learning to speak. He's designed 2 artificial palates, one for vowel training and the other for consonants. They can provide an immediate picture of what's going on in the mouth. This electronic palate for vowels has been custom made for Russell. Once inserted in his mouth, it works like this. There are 4 pairs of sensors embedded along the middle of the palate from front to back. Each pair consists of a light-emitting diode that shines light down to the tongue. As light bounces back, it's read by the other half of the pair, a photosensor, which measures the tongue's distance from the palate. As the tongue moves, the distances change. But what's always being measured are 4 different areas along the tongue, represented by these dotted lines, which now stand for an outline of the tongue's surface. As Russell produces vowel sounds, these lines change as the contour of his tongue changes. With these same dotted lines now displayed on a video screen, Russell has a schematic side view of what his tongue is doing as he's actually forming his vowels.
You'll see little dotted lines. They move when your tongue moves.
The idea is for Russell to move the dotted lines representing his tongue right into the solid lines, the targets, which represent the ideal tongue positions for various vowel sounds. After each try, he sees a number telling him the average distance from his 4 targets, and he wants that to be as low as possible, 1.00 or 100 as they call it. Russell's first attempt at the ooh sound.
Good, that's great.
Next, E. Not too close, but it's fun anyway. Now, ah. Not great either.
Okay, now this time, close to 100. 100, that's our goal. Great, that's the way. See how you got it?
Better already. The visual feedback system really helps. It's often not clear which vowel sound Russell is trying to produce. His ooh and ee are often confused. His ah and ah almost indistinguishable. But as time passes, he begins to see distinctions. His mother, outside the small lab, is a constant observer as Russell gradually improves his scores.
There, see? Good. That's it. That's the greatest.
Mom!
Over the next week, Russell continued to make progress in the lab. He quickly learned to hit his targets successfully, especially his E and OO vowels.
Typically, people will spend many, many months trying to get an E-OO contrast, and he picked it up in just a couple of days. So that's excellent. We can't expect him to do miracles.
The 96 tiny gold sensors embedded in this palate will be used for the next step, consonants. Unlike vowels, consonants are produced as the tongue touches the roof of the mouth. And this electronic palate will show Russell precisely what his tongue is doing as it makes direct contact with the sensors. This video display in the lab shows the pattern of sensors in the electronic palate. The idea is for Russell's tongue to contact only the brighter sensors in the picture, his targets, and when he hits them, they'll light up as a square. Different sounds require different areas of contact.
Okay, we're going to give you a test now.
But first, Dr. Fletcher identifies that the main consonants Russell is lacking are his sibilant sounds.
Zebra, 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 zebra.
Normally, to make the Z sound, we put our tongue toward the front of our mouth, leave a little groove for the air to flow through, and turn on the voice. Zzz. Russell puts his tongue out, stops the air, and turns on his voice. D.
Z, Z, Z.
Russell, here's for the Z.
Okay.
These little lines, that's where your tongue touches.
If Russell can get his tongue to touch just the brighter sensors, he may learn to leave open this center space, the groove necessary to produce a Z.
Z, Z.
He's hitting his targets, but he's also still hitting too many other points, blocking the groove.
Z.
Remember, bring your tongue just a little further forward there. Don't touch these.
Z, 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 Z.
Russell has never been able to produce the sound of a Z.
Okay, that's good.
He is now able to see where he is placing his tongue in order to do that, something that we have not been able to teach him before. And this is marvelous.
Shop, shop,
Russell has problems with S's, too.
shop, shop.
Normally, to make the S sound, we put the tongue out toward the front, make the little groove, and have no voice. S. To make the SH sound, we move the tongue a little further back, make the groove wider, and no voice. Shh.
Sheep, 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 sheep.
Russell just has one sound, kind of in between the S and the SH. He puts his tongue kind of in the middle, makes the groove always the same size in the same place, and makes a shh. Go ahead.
Slowly, he's learning the position to clarify his S.
Okay. Hey, that's beautiful.
The difference between this ideal pattern for S and this one for his next sound, SH, is subtle. For SH, the tongue must be kept just slightly further back.
Okay, now shall we try the SH? Okay, let's try the SH. Oh, so you're too far. Bring it back. Okay, further back. Further back in your mouth.
Watching, feeling, thinking, Russell gradually discovers the best tongue positions.
Keep trying.
I see. I
Using words, it is hoped that Russell will continue to differentiate his S and SH.
see.
Good.
I see. I see. I see.
The computer keeps track of how close Russell is to touching only his targets. The closer he gets to 100, the closer he is to the correct tongue position. Outside the lab, his mother also tracks his progress with her own rewards for his best attempts.
My sheep.
it back.
My sheep. My sheep.
Shh, bring it
My
way back.
sheep.
There, you're getting it.
My sheep. My sheep.
There, we got it.
Sheep.
Look at that score.
The best he's done.
Yeah, that is good.
Mom, I got 96.
Russell and his mother had, after years of work, reached a barrier on the road to speech. Now, that road is open again.
Our real hope for Russell in this program is that he can build a speech map in his mind so that he can see, he can visualize where he should put his tongue for these different sounds, and then transfer that into regular, comfortable, easy talking so that his life can be just as easy as yours and mine or anyone else's.